Nosson, he wrote a few books which his intent was to help bring down more and clarify on a more practical level Rabbi Nachman's teachings. Rav Nosson, he dedicated his whole life to spread Rabbi Nachman's teachings and also to, again, present them in a format that any person in the world, any Jew, and by extension any person in the world can connect to. One of his amazing books, which he put together after Rabbi Nachman's instructions to do so, is a book called the Abridged Likutey Moharan, the Kitzur Likutey Moharan. What Rabbi Nachman told Rav Nosson to do was to collect the practical advice found in each of his lessons, teachings in his major book called the Likutey Moharan. In Likutey Moharan, Rabbi Nachman will take a person on a type of a journey and quoting and bringing all types of proofs and sources from the whole panoramic vision of the whole Torah, and through that present his teachings. Rabbi Nachman told Rav Nosson, I want you to collect now the practical advice that comes out of each lesson and to re-present the lessons in point format of the practical points. Rav Nosson did this, and he showed Rabbi Nachman what he did, and Rabbi Nachman told him, this is a shein etzetel in Yiddish, a nice work, you did a good job, something nice, a nice work. Rav Nosson printed it the year after Rabbi Nachman passed away, in about 1811, 1812, and later on, after Rav Nosson passed away, some of his disciples, I think it's Rav Nachman Goldstein of Cheren, the Cherner Rav, he decided to take what Rav Nosson wrote later on in the year 1840, the book Advice, Likutey Etzot, where there, after so many years passed, Rav Nosson was able to elaborate more on points of advice that comes from Rabbi Nachman's teachings, but in the format of the second book called Advice, which we won't go into right now. And he combined it with this original abridged Likutey Moharan. And what we have today is called the Kitzur Likutey Moharan HaShalem, the complete abridged Likutey Moharan. What's amazing about this book is it helps you when wanting to get a feel of ideas brought down by Rabbi Nachman in a specific lesson, and before getting absorbed in the lesson, which requires a lot of concentration, a lot of determination, a lot of dedication to get involved in a lesson in Likutey Moharan, what the abridged version enables you to do is to see the points of the lesson before you jump into it. In other words, you'll see the outline of the lesson, what it's going to talk about, how Rav Nosson presents the ideas in his language, because Rav Nosson also rephrases the ideas in Likutey Moharan on a practical level also. He even changes the wording. He has the permission to do so, Rav Nosson, from Rabbi Nachman himself, to explain the true meaning of what Rabbi Nachman is trying to say in his books, where there are places that Rabbi Nachman, he keeps what he's saying sometimes very opaque, very hidden, and Rav Nosson came to explain clearly what Rabbi Nachman meant. So with Rav Nosson's addition, you see the lesson, and after seeing the format in the abridged Likutey Moharan, you can use that to decide if this is the lesson you want to invest your time and energy and effort to get involved with. Because Rabbi Nachman, he gave an advice, a suggestion, that he wanted people who learn his book Likutey Moharan to have 2 study sessions in learning it. Number 1, to learn the book from cover to cover, to get familiar with Rabbi Nachman's lessons in Likutey Moharan, which is like a superficial general study session. But the second one, which is more important, where he stressed that you take a lesson of the Likutey Moharan and you go with it for a period of 2 to 3 months. You take the lesson and you work with it until it begins to change your life, and you see changes in your life, and also you obviously get renewed inspiration through this lesson. So again, the abridged Likutey Moharan is very, very helpful in navigating you and giving you a clear picture of the lesson before jumping into it. And even after you get involved in a lesson, sometimes you want to reboot and recap the lesson so as not to forget all the practical points that come out, and to see how Rav Nosson explains the ideas that you saw for yourself in the Likutey Moharan. It's a good book also to go back to again and again, the Bridge Likutey Moharan, to re-look again at the lesson from the structure perspective of Rav Nosson in the Bridge Likutey Moharan, to give you also a reboot as to why in the first place you came and chose to work on this lesson. This, in a nutshell, is one of the good usages of the Bridge Likutey Moharan. It also exists in a format where you have the lesson in the Bridge Likutey Moharan followed by Rav Nosson's prayer from his book called The 50th Gate, Likutey Tfilot, on that lesson. It was a book put out called Torot V'Tfilot, the lessons and the prayers, where you can get both the ideas and also the prayer together. So in short, the Bridge Likutey Moharan is a very, very special book to use before entering into Likutey Moharan, especially when you're looking for a lesson and you want to make sure that you have the right address. The Likutey Moharan, the Bridge Likutey Moharan, is very helpful in that.